Hello. My friend Eric really enjoyed the other day when I made my version of Caprese for him. And I'm going to show you tonight how I'm going to do this. But as I am busy during the day and it might get late, I want to show you my tomatoes that I grew myself on my porch, because we have groundhogs and deer that eat them beforehand. So today's the 20th of August, so we had already one batch of tomatoes that we ate. A couple of them are left here. And now I'm going to show you outside where my plants are. These are the ones with the little tomatoes on. And you see there's plenty coming here. And these are the ones that are a little bit bigger, and they were actually not meant to be for the porch, but if I were to plant them in my garden, they would definitely be eaten at this point. The deer loves them. So we have some coming. And then I also have basil here. This is the basil, and next to it is Italian parsley. And the cilantro is already gone. And I have one more batch of basil, and I also have some other kinds of basil, Thai basil and lemon basil in my garden. So I will be seeing you tonight. Hello. Today I'm going to make my own version of Caprese. Caprese is usually just an appetizer, but when the tomatoes are ripe, which is around this time of the year, we're now at the middle or end of August, then Joe and I really enjoy to have it as a full meal. And then I'm not treating it just as a Caprese, but I'll make it more as a salad. So Caprese usually is just tomatoes, a slice of tomatoes and some mozzarella and a piece of basil on top. And that is with olive oil and some balsamic vinegar. But we will do my version of it, and I hope you enjoy it. So I like a lot to add arugula to my Caprese on the bottom, and I'm also adding some mixed greens. So this is the first thing. Even though it says washed, you know, I don't trust them completely. I always make sure that I wash my salad one more time. So that's what I'm starting to do. And here we go. I also have some wild arugula in the garden, but we just ate a bigger batch and it has to grow again. So unfortunately I can't show you how the regular arugula is almost half as small as the ones that you buy in the store. Okay, so we have tomatoes from, I cannot say from the terrace, because I have groundhogs and deer, and the groundhogs eat the tomatoes. They just munch it, they just bite in it, and then they leave the rest on the floor. So I can't grow tomatoes in my garden at all. So here we are. I'm taking this out. This is stem. And usually this is where sometimes you find still the last little bit of the flower on when you grow them yourself. And if they need to ripen, your tomatoes, if you put them inside, leave them this way, because then they also stay more ripe, they stay better in shape than when you have it the other way. Store it the other way around. Sometimes I can't find my words when I say all these things here. So I have about 3 or 4 slices. They shouldn't be too thin. So I put some of the arugula, on the bottom, and to balance it out, that everybody gets about the same. And some of the salad. Then we have about 5 slices here. I'm going to add avocado. So be careful with this. I have a friend who cut badly in her hand trying to get the pit out of the avocado. So they're slippery and they sometimes sit very hard inside of the avocado, so you have to be careful. I make some stripes, and then I take a spoon, and with that spoon I scoop the avocado out. And spread them over everything. Take that off. I also like to add radishes to this, but we are out of radishes, and I usually just cook what I have in the fridge or prepare what I have and make the most of it. A bit more for Joe. Come. Right. Then I do love Kalamata olives. They are the dark ones. They have such a great flavor. Put some on here. Already does look really pretty. What I like is that the different colors of everything makes the plate later on look so pretty. And it's said that when you eat different colors, that is actually the best way of eating. So now here's my mozzarella. There is also mozzarella that is already pre-sliced that you can buy in the store. But I decided to take the mozzarella that's in one piece because it's harder to cut this one. And I want to try different kind of knives to see which one works best, so that we can explore together. So this texture of this mozzarella is a little tricky because when you cut it, it just moves around with you, and that makes it a little bit harder to actually cut a straight piece. Sometimes gets much thicker than you think. Now this is sharpened, but I find it cuts all right. But you see, it moves with it, and sometimes it can get too thin or too thick. These are called Japanese knives. You never have to sharpen them. I want to try that and see how it works with those. This is more controlled, you see. And Joe usually likes to eat a slice before we even get started. He's the cameraman today, so we always nosh a little bit. Here, Joe. Delicious. I mean, you gotta have some sort of reward when you're the cameraman, right? Okay. So this one is for Joe because he's doing such a good job. So my tomatoes are not so big. The small slice is fine, but I can also cut it in half. Now we have the basil, and I usually just pick it like that, and we use a lot of basil. It's also grown in my garden and on my terrace. I have it in both places because the groundhogs don't like basil, and they don't like most of the herbs. So that's mainly what I grow in my garden. Garlic and herbs. Okay, go. We're not content with just one little slice of basil on top of our cheese. So we're very generous with this. And I have a lot of basil, so the smell of this alone, oh, it's just so great. When I was 17, I was in Greece, and they have in front of each of the people's homes, they have a big pot of basil, and when they pass, they first go like this with their hands, and then they smell on it. And it is very delicious when you do that. Okay, I think good. So in here I have some salt. This is Himalayan salt. We spend a lot of money on a good olive oil and a good salt, because salt is very important that you have actually elements of nutrition in them, and the Himalayan salt is very good for that. So I'm going to put salt over this. And Joe bought Himalayan salt not as a granulate but in big crystals, so I had to pound it in order to have it right. And then pepper, black pepper. You can take any pepper. Joe actually likes the tricolore pepper, the 3 colors. Right, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
I personally like black pepper better. I find it has a stronger flavor. But that's just my own opinion. So here is balsamic vinegar. The good thing about balsamic vinegar is that it's sweet and sour at the same time. So it gives a great flavor to this. And olive oil. The best olive oil you can have, especially if you have salad, is a first cold press. And you can find that in the stores. It's very healthy. Olive oil does not make you fat. Neither do avocados. They are healthy oils. And today, as we're having this as a main meal, and I mean the cheese has protein, but I probably will add some pistachios for additional protein and fat, good fat. And for Joe's plate, I will also cut chili peppers because Joe likes to eat very spicy. Now the spiciest part of a pepper is the seed inside. Some people take that out, but of course not Joe. So I'll just take this off. And then Joe just puts it in waters, right? That's what you usually do. Garnish. The more seeds, the spicier the pepper. Sometimes I see Joe's nose running and I wonder what's going on. And then I remember he had his chili peppers.